the meeting, which seems to be taking longer. I don't know if my bandwidth, Zoom or YouTube, we hard to say. And then I have my copy that URL to my cards. So this is good. And we got people that are getting on their cameras. And Catherine and Juan, and Caitlin and Max, and Samuel. Okay. So, how are we doing? We're on a Wednesday. We'll see how we'll do. Greta, you have any comments, questions?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So we'll see what we'll be doing here. So, Greta, can you be so kind and monitor our chat?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so as I mentioned before, I have two teaching assistants that um Daniel and Sebastian, they're listed on your course syllabus that are my teaching assistants. And the way they became teaching assistants is that I have teaching assistants in training. And Greta has volunteered to be one of those folks that are kind of reviewing the assignments. And last time, Frank has volunteered that he wants to be a teaching assistant in training, and he came up with some, I thought, interesting ideas. So at first, I'll have Frank introduce himself. Greta, I think you all know. Greta, you've introduced yourself to the class, right? You want
I
to do
think so.
another? Okay, just do a
I mean, I
short
can,
introduction.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
So go just a short introduction, Greta.
Okay, hi guys. I'm Greta. I am a sophomore right now. I'm majoring in global business and marketing, and I have a minor in Spanish. And I don't really know where my career path is going, but I'm excited to be a TA assistant, see if I can help you all with anything. I think it's a very interesting class, and I think that learning about AI and how technology works is very beneficial in the business world, and I think I'm excited to learn more about it.
Okay, great. And Frank, you want to just introduce yourself and then also talk about your, I thought was a fantastic idea, and then maybe you can get others that are interested to join you in your venture.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Frank Call. I'm from Washington, D.C. I'm in the business school. My major is entrepreneurship, and I volunteered to be a TA assistant in training and have a weekly AI catch up for everyone. And I think that'd be pretty cool if anyone wants to add to it, they can, but
You want to share your screen, Frank, of what your idea is, and then you can talk about it. That we were thinking do it like on Mondays, doing a weekly roundup of what's happening. You want to just share with you what you kind of thought?
sure. So weekly tech roundup. We got three categories. It would be a little tech flash, AI and future trends, and who got funded in the community. Um, we talked a little bit last time about DeepSeek and how NVIDIA's stock dropped. I think it finished at like 10% today, 8 to 10%.
10% up?
Yeah, I think it's 8 or 9. I
Okay,
can't
good.
remember.
So it got back half, more than half of what it lost.
And if any of you guys have ChatGPT Premium, check out OpenAI Sora. Like today, I asked it to like make a video of my German Shepherd eating a cheeseburger, and it was like pretty cool. And then I think every week, kind of raising some awareness for who's getting the money in the industry would be cool. And I picked Humane AI, which is a wearable AI assistant, kind of taking screens out of the mix. Um, but yeah, if anyone wants to add to this, can share it to the whole class. We can figure something out if
Yeah.
people.
And you know what? Maybe you can even make another folder in the audit area, call it Tech Roundup or something like that, and then add a number of your slides there. And I think it would be interesting is once you figure out, hey, this is an interesting software like SAR and so forth, is which ones we should use as part of our class projects, our assignments to incorporate. Like once we do our projects, we can say, hey, we can do SARA and things like that, or we can do like a little tutorial to see if people want to try it out. So I think that would be great. Another one, I think, go to that other slide that you have. This one on Tech Flash, AI Future Trends, who got funded, and maybe even have another one of people are like educational apps or
Mm-hmm.
part of those, that can help us in terms of studying, in terms of working with groups or something like that. I think, what do you think about that, Frank?
I like that, and maybe we could, have like a class poll, like, would you
Yeah.
invest in this? You guys
Hmm.
like this? Something like that
Okay.
would be super
Hey,
cool.
that's so neat. Okay, great. I love it. And you know what? Our next assignment, Frank, it's like we rehearsed it. Our
Really?
next this our next assignment is a Zoom group assignment where we'll go over how to do, what you have to show in your group Zoom assignment is how to create polls, how to do remote control, how to spotlight speakers. So all those areas in which we're going to do, we can then reuse for that. So maybe what people can do is even Frank, you're looking at your in the chat. If anybody's interested in working with you and Greta on it, they can put even their interest in it as well. So, and we can see as we're going along what it can work out. Okay, thanks, Frank. We appreciate
Great.
it. And
Yeah.
that's really what I want the essence, you can stop sharing, what I want the essence of our class to be, is that we really think about it as working together and sharing. Okay? So hopefully I have Sam and Catherine also opening up their cameras with us. Okay, let me just talk about a few things here. I got many emails this yesterday, especially. I was very popular among you about the assignments. So let me talk a little bit about it. We're going to have assignments every week. This we'll have traditionally, the chapters from the book, and also the quizzes from Wiley, and also the other quizzes, but we're going to have hands-on assignments each time, and this one was really to get to know all of Zoom and its features and its collaborative features. And I'll go through that. Some of you, I think, the questions I got many times were about streaming live to YouTube, where YouTube requires that they check your account, and they require how much? 24 or 48 hours? What are they requiring? Julia, what did they end up requiring?
It was 24 hours.
24 hours. And some people were doing it Tuesday night, so they say, hey, this is going to be too late. So one of the things that you need to do, we're going to be, and some people had contacted me saying, well, hey, I wasn't quite sure. Do I really need to do this? What's going on here? This class is different, that we're getting our hand, what I call our hand, moving our sleeves up and getting our hands dirty. And I mentioned this before. If that's not what you like, then this is not the class for you, because what I expect is that everybody put in the efforts and do it in a timely manner. Of course, we're having issues with some people, getting sick and so forth, that you can't help. But one of the advantages of this class is we, at least for the most part, we're not contagious. So if you have some issues in terms of for one day that you don't want to show your face, you ask in advance and you can get the permission, having the documentation say, hey, this is not the day, I'm just feeling under the weather. But other than that, everyone's expected to have their cameras up and running to be participating in the groups. You have also been assigned groups, and let me just do that. Let me just share my screen. Let's just do this. Let me do my, that first of all, you know that we're always doing the Zoom. You can see here that it is a bit delayed. You know that in the Zoom meetings, besides getting into the Zoom meetings, in the cloud recordings, you have a listing of all your cloud recordings here. You also know that in the what's due section, you see what's due. So for today, you see that when it says audit assignments now, the description is under audit assignment instructions. You input it where, in this case, Julia, where do you upload your assignment to? Which Blackboard site?
It's like the audit one.
The audit section. Everybody has two sections. You have the regular section where you take all your quizzes, the regular section that you see what's due. But in order to upload your audit assignments, you do that in the other section, right? And then you had the readings of hardware, you had the adaptive assignments of hardware, you had the quizzes that you needed to take and additional readings. This was due before today's class. And you'll see then you have the audit assignments. You have that audit assignment right there where it was telling you what you needed to do. You have another assignment that is due next Wednesday. So this assignment was due today, the single assignment, and you have another assignment due next Wednesday. And this assignment, I call it Advanced Digital Communication Skills in a Group. You need to do this as a group because those skills a group needs more than one person to do that. Those instructions are in that group. You'll see then the readings that we're going to do next week in software, the adaptive assignment in software, and the quizzes. And as I went through before, here you see the audit assignment instructions right here on that assignment 2. You see that this is the instructions where this assignment will then set up. You need to have someone in your group initiate the group session that you will record to the cloud. What I suggest you do is go through these instructions before you meet as a group, so you, as meeting as a group, will know what to record. You want to record all of your sessions here as tutorials. That means you want to show your faces, but you also want to share your screens because you want to have people be able to follow what you do. So you'll start your group meeting. You'll then have everybody be prepared, and it'll be in form of a tutorial. You'll have that person that is signing that group meeting. Besides recording on the cloud, you will also be live streaming to YouTube under that person's account. Only the person who created the meeting will do the live screen and share the live stream. And then you will talk about the different versions. You'll also do the AI companion, make sure that that is checked off on your settings. You'll make sure that your cloud has no password. And then you'll be looking at features like promoting a co-host, demonstrate with each other. How do you assign co-hosts? What's the reason for co-hosts? What permissions do co-hosts have that normal participants don't? What are set up breakout rooms? Explain their use in meetings. Who can set up the breakout rooms? How can you set it up automatically? Do it randomly? Have the group members join on their own? What can the host do? Can hosts be in breakout rooms? Also, what's interesting, I'd add, everyone, is in the breakout rooms prior, when you were recording, it wasn't recording what's happening in the breakout rooms. Because you remember how I went, Greta, you remember how I went from one group to another? When I go into a person's breakout room, Zoom was not able to record that breakout room. So that's a disadvantage, right? So think about how you would get around that, because a lot of interesting material is done in a breakout room. So how can you do it? Spotlight members of a team when they're presenting. What's the use of spotlighting? And this one, Frank, is just like we said, create a poll and show how results are shared in real time. Who can create a poll? What can be done? So once you know that, then you can add even the poll and the spotlights when you're presenting. When you're presenting your weekly roundup, Frank, it'd be interesting. Now, everybody could do that. And what you could say is, basically, you could then even ask somebody to help you with the polls. You don't have to have it all the week to say, who wants to help me this week with the polling, based on my material. Chat functions, live transcription, remote control. So the idea, Finley, what do you think remote control is?
Online.
It basically is, let's say somebody in your group's having problem with their computer, Finley, with remote control, you can go and help them on their computer. So you can be almost like tech support. Did you know you could do tech support with Zoom? Now you'll know how to do that. So show how that's done. Access and share the cloud recording and submit. So what you'll need to do is, this is only for the group member who created the meeting. You want to go to the audit section, create another folder called Zoom group assignment, and follow the group 0 screenshot below, where you will then put in your Zoom cloud recording, because you want everybody to see it, your YouTube live stream. Also put in not who's in your group, but who was in your recording. We want everybody to be in the recording. Everyone has to take an active step. So if you're a group member, you just sat there and you didn't know what was going on, that is not acceptable. You will be graded as a group, but you will be graded also individually. If you said nothing and you contributed nothing, you should get nothing in return. So here you'll do this, what you showcase. Besides what you showcased here, I would takeaways, I would put a little summary of both here. And also I would add to it, I would add one more to it, and I would add the AI companion summary. So I would make sure then that the AI companion summary was in there. Okay. Questions? Any questions that I have in the chat, Greta?
No, not yet.
Okay, all right. So that is it. So if I go to the audit, everyone should have the audit. If you don't have the audit, put in the group chat that you don't have the audit. That's important. And then if you see here, assignment groups, this is the example. So this was the Zoom individual assignment. And you can see here that sample that was there. But also each group, you can make it now, each group should make a folder called Zoom group assignment. And under Zoom group assignment, this is the second assignment due for next Wednesday, is you'll see here, basically you can follow this as I mentioned before, and you can put in yours, make sure just like you did before with your members of who were the members of the group. And then you can add on to what was showcased and also add to it as well the AIQ summary of what it said about the group. I think that'd be useful to set up. If I look here, I can and look at these. If I look at group 1, for instance, under what's the problem here? I want everything under the Zoom individual assignment. Do you see that, Catherine? Catherine, are you here? Is Catherine Bremer here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you see it's supposed to be within the Zoom individual assignment.
Okay.
Within this, so move it to this subdirectory, the Zoom individual assignment, and then you can see each person. So you
Okay.
see here, Luana is here, her MP4, and Luana, are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see here, you have your local recording, and what happened to YouTube?
Oh, I have to edit that and put that in because I did the YouTube after I uploaded that because I didn't
Okay,
think it was
so
gonna be
do it even now, Luana,
Okay.
right? Do it now so it's complete that you have this. And if I look at your crowd recording, right? What's the problem?
The passcode.
Right.
I thought I had turned that off in settings and then it said that, so I just put the passcode in my post.
Yeah, okay, so you need to fix it.
Okay.
Okay, so you need, in this case, you need then to fix it, right? That this should all be done, right? Where you don't have the cloud reporting, and you may want to put that in and then do a new recording. Okay, so if I looked at it, right, under K, that wouldn't be full credit. That if I looked, I want to go to my K audit, right, under assignment groups, right? And what about you, Jack?
I'm still like tuning and uploading everything. It's like,
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be before, right? So
yeah,
anyway,
yeah, yeah.
and then here, Ava, the same thing. And then we have a Zoom assignment with Grace, everything under just one. So we have Grace here, we have Ava here, right? We have Ava, but put this in, have it all together to organize it. It just says, just like the sample, we have one folder Zoom individual assignment. You see it, and we have Camellia here. So we have here Camellia, we have here the Zoom, we have YouTube live streaming. We looked at it last time, right? Did you make any changes, Camellia? So in this case, open a new tab. Let's see here, and opening a new tab, we can see, we say, hi, my name, okay. We'll be discussing, that's good that she's been discussing here. And we talked about it, that what does she need to do? Catherine, what should she do? What's missing here as a tutorial?
I'm not exactly sure.
Can you follow what she's doing step by step? Camellia, what would you like her to see instead of just seeing Camelia's face? The screens, sharing her screens, right? You want to be able that she can share her screen. So she needs to redo it so she can share her screen. So these are the assignments. And then if I look here, This is of group 3. And then I have Francis here. So if I look at then open in new tab, let me open this in a new tab. Let's see. So what am I seeing here? So I'm having some issues. So one of the things you want to make sure when you go to your group, you want to make sure that in your cloud recording, that when someone else clicks on it, that it works. So if I look at Lily here, open a new tab. Let's see. I have Lily, right? I see her face. So Lily, did you share your screen? Lily, are you there? You see how she has just her face there and not the screens. And then if I do, in this case, I have the local recording. Caitlin, did you do a cloud recording?
Yeah, I linked it above.
Where is it?
It's above the local recording.
But this
Yeah.
looks like MP4 though, it says. This doesn't look like the cloud recording.
That one should be the cloud recording.
It doesn't seem like it is. Let's look.
Okay, so
Okay.
basically I just started thanks a lot.
Okay, did you share your screen? Okay,
And
this
then
is good that you're starting to share your screen. Okay, perfect. So if I just stop right here, everybody see this? This is excellent in this case, Caitlin, where you share your screens, you show how you're going to change your settings. You see the difference, Catherine? Where somebody's just talking and here you can actually follow what she's doing. It's nice. We see Caitlin's face here in the middle that gives her some authenticity, but you're sharing your screen and actually showing how are you changing all the settings as you go through. So you can then do it as a tutorial. So what I would even do, Caitlin, is even maybe reduce the amount of time you're just speaking, right, to more screen sharing to it. Do you understand? But it really starts to look good, right? That you're then sharing your screen, that I can see that you share your screen here, right? That you're doing a lot of the screen sharing here. Very good. So in this case, if I go back, right, that the Caitlin, so this needs to be rearranged. And you guys can do it on your own. And if I go to group 4, I have then group assignment, the same thing then. Greta, I would put them all in one. You have them all in one Zoom assignment. You see how they're different? You're having it in the front, Greta. Other ones are having it inside. I would just try to just do the Zoom individual assignment and have them all together so we wouldn't have so many. And then you could see then I have Riley, right, with the group. So you got it done. Just I would just just put it in. So if I look at it, Riley. So see here, I have a lot of you, Riley, here. Do I have screens, Riley? I have all Riley. So I'd rather have, just like we did before, Caitlin. You see that, Caitlin, where somebody could follow your tutorial. I could even with it being off, I could follow it. So this needs to be improved here. The takeaways we have here in the YouTube, and then in the assignments here, we could, this needs to be worked out. And then group 5, right, that we have it here though, I would do the same thing here. We have, you see here, Quinn? Quinn, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
So you see here, what is the difference here? This is a file, not a folder. Here's a folder. I would put
Yeah.
all of yours in in an individual folder of Zoom, Zoom individual assignments, and put everybody together and see how it's not consistent. You have it as a folder. So this way, and here is, we have the Zoom group assignment, which is good. So in this case, then this is good that you know that you'll start off here. I wouldn't, even though right here, team members present, hopefully everybody will be already present. But if, Cindy, Quinn, Ryan, and Nick, hopefully all of you will be present. If one of you are not in the presentation, you want to take them out. But then we got it set already. We got it set. Very good in that sense that we have it here. And then in the assignment, what else am I? I'm just going through a couple of these. And in group 6, good. Zoom individual assignment group 6, excellent. Vanessa has a test. What is this, Vanessa? You're just playing around with it? Is Vanessa here? Vanessa, you here? But here in Jordan here is great. And then Lhasa, and then if I look at, you got the YouTube slides, perfect. Open in a new tab. Let's see what it looks like. So let's see here. I have your face here. Here, at least here in a minute, then at least I think it looks like it's doing some screens, right?
Live stream and then live on YouTube. Then
Okay,
you will see
very
your
nice.
account's
Perfect. You
link.
see that?
You can make the live stream public or unlisted.
Very nice. Excellent. I would maybe chop down a little bit in the front, but this is great. And you see the zoom to YouTube?
And wait a
Perfect.
couple minutes for them to sync.
Perfect. Very nice. And we got authenticity here where we have her. She's showing what's available.
And now we are live on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay.
The advantages of live streaming TV.
Yeah.
Since Zoom meetings have these
That's
limitations,
great.
and there
But I would do more screen shots. You see that?
eliminates the need for physical venues. Travel
Yeah, right. Perfect. But I would do more that it would be a tutorial. Excellent. In that case, if at least I have some screens. And then Michelle. And then she has the YouTube as well. And then if I open up in a new tab. And then I have Michelle. With speaker view. But I still want to see, just in the speaker, I want to see, as we talked about before, that she's doing it with screen share. Okay, so this is the idea. I am going to extend the due date from tonight before the class till Monday. Everybody hear me? I'm extending the due date to Monday. And Quinn, what I want is that everyone, then number one, make it that you have one folder called that first assignment individual, have everyone's material inside that one folder, and then go back and do a re-recording where it's more as a tutorial of screen sharing and Les is just talking as we go along. And you saw some of the ones that you already did was really nice. Show how you're setting up the settings. Show how you're doing the live streaming to YouTube. Continue doing all that for all your points. And some of you that were not able to get the YouTube live, will be able to get the YouTube live by Monday before class. And then I will do the grading. Is that clear, Caitlin? So in that case, and those of you that even done some screencasting, look back at it. And if you've done those screencasts and you want to make it more compact, you can say second upload. You know, leave what you have and do revised version, and you can put the date on that. Questions, Julia? Do you understand? So some of you need, I would say, start from scratch. Others of you may want to just do an additional one. So that will be due on Monday before class, and then it will be graded. So I'm not going to grade now. I'll be adding that for Monday. Questions on the, Greta, on the chat? Anything I need to address?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. Is there anything we'll do on the chat? So those are the things that we need to do. And then you know that the group, that people have already set up the group. What I suggest you do is already meet early on the group and have it done even first round by Monday. So if there needs to be additions, what we call continuous improvements, you've already gotten it over the way. And if there's things that you can't do, and then Frank, everybody will be able to know the polls already, that you can already know how to do the polls, and other people can join you on those polls, Frank, to answer some of those questions. It can be, and then you can even use some of the things that we already did in that assignment, the second assignment, and further to do it. Questions? And then what I can do, remind me then, is in order to do a poll, the question is, as a participant, can you do a poll, Frank? Or do you have to be a co-host? Who can create the poll? Who can take the poll? So you may have to remind me in the beginning of the class that I need to make you co-host in order to do a poll. And then in passcodes, you know that you don't want to have passcode. If you have issues, then redo it. Set up your settings properly, and then even record that you don't have passcode. And then when you record, there should not be set as a passcode, because you don't want to. These are things that we are doing broadly for the entire population. This is not proprietary information. We're not giving any trade secrets out. You know, you're not giving your financials of the company before it's due or something like that. And you want to make sure that if that's the case, Frank, that you have passwords. But if it's just for you even want it beyond this class, right? That other people can see it, right? To share that they can get to know you. Questions? Okay. The other part where I wanted to show you is, so everybody sees that I went through it. I didn't go through everyone's. If you want me to look at it, many of you can distinguish it on your own of what's the case, right? That you can distinguish on your own what's happening. Okay. So we talked about then, and in announcements, the audit assignment has extended then. The audit has been extended until Monday. So that audit one has been extended until Monday before the class. So that's part of the announcements. And we had the what's due, we had the quizzes, and then you have also, then if I looked at any of the Wiley Adaptive, for instance, and I go to the hardware, notice on the adaptive assignment, I have what version? I have the version of the instructors. So I see that 21 people have completed it and 2 have done it. This is due, if I look at one due date, this is due today by 11:59 p.m. So if you haven't done this as of yet, and I see quite a few have not, get it done by 11:59 p.m. or else you won't get credit for that. Okay, and then I can go to students and I can see which students have appropriately done that are listed in blue. Okay. So I have that, making sure that that is the issue. And then in PowerPoints and documents, we know that we had the hardware. We have a test that will include this hardware. So we have PowerPoints and documents that you can see here, that you have PowerPoints and documents of hardware. Next week, it'll be software. We had introduction to information systems. You can see at this point, for instance, at the very top, we have hardware that you have the technology here. What I said before is you can do the readings. You have open then, Greta, you have open the internet, you have open all the others. And basically what is important here is, if I look at what is important here, is that major hardware components of computer hardware system is going to be important. And as you said, Frank, is what? What does NVIDIA do? What is NVIDIA's role? If I type in NVIDIA,
They make really good GPUs, which are kind of like computer chips.
right, that's the hardware, right? That's going to be, if I look at what are their products, right, are graphics cards, right? A lot for gaming and creating. Now they're into even hardware. They're now doing actual professional laptops. They're now doing desktops. They're now doing what? AI workstations. And notice they have what they call their cloud and data center. These data centers and clouds are going to be used on their basic for AI. And notice they have a number of platforms. They have networking. And then they have GPUs. And what are GPUs? What are GPUs? In this case, what we have in our PowerPoints, if I look at it, is what? If I stop sharing and I go to my if I share my screen and I go to my PowerPoints, when I look at any of my PowerPoints, they're talking about my strategic hardware issues, and that's the case. If I think about that DeepSeek, Frank, what was the strategic hardware issue about DeepSeek? Companies were saying, should I use DeepSeek for so much less of the price to produce chatbots, personalized chatbots? When I think about it, and then they have something called the central processing unit, I have to figure out what that central processing unit is. So you need to know what a central processing unit is. A lot of times it's called CPU. We need to know what a GPU is and an NPU. And Catherine, whenever I throw these terms out, and I ask you, what's a GPU? What should you be doing? You can be looking it up, right, Catherine? So what I want the whole class to do is look up what is a central processing unit, which manipulates the data and controls the tasks performed by other components. So what does the GPU add to it? And you can think what then, Quinn? What does a GPU add?
It says is an electronic circuit that processes graphics and images.
Mhm. Does Gen AI do a lot of graphics? Does it produce images? Does it generate for you video, Quinn?
Yeah, it can, right?
It can. So in terms of that, what you need is fast graphics cards and chips to be able to do that. And then we have something called NPUs that are neural processing units that also for AI. And then we have something that in the book it calls primary storage and secondary storage. And what you need to know for the test, Catherine, is what's the difference between primary storage and secondary storage? And what business applications does it have? So we'll be talking about that idea of those price reductions on some, and then we'll be talking about the advances of what's happening, and should we be using our own computers or those computers that are working in the cloud. So what makes the computer manipulate is what we call the central processing unit. And that central processing unit, that microprocessor, has with it something called an arithmetic logic unit. So what I want you to do now is look up that term, arithmetic logic unit. Its acronym is ALU. It's going to be doing arithmetic, right? Adding and subtraction, but also logic. What does it mean, logic? Greta, logic means true or false. So it will evaluate operands like 5 less than 6. What do you think that is? True or false? Greta.
True.
True. So this is basically how it's going to sort, right? One is less than the other. This is how it's going to sort of how the CPU works, the advances, computer memory, and the inputs into the CPU are from random access memory. This is the key. It's called RAM. Sometimes it's called memory. It is basically coming into the CPU, and the RAM is what I call volatile. It means that if I shut down the computer, whatever was in RAM will disappear. And if I look at this diagram right here, let me just move this. If I look at this diagram here, I can see in this diagram, I can see the microprocessor, which is the control unit, the arithmetic logic, the registries, and I have something called primary memory. Primary, main memory, primary storage, and I have secondary storage. So if I were thinking about this, Greta, I'm using PowerPoint right now. You got it? And PowerPoint resides on my hard drive in secondary storage. Whenever, and you put this in your notes, whenever you are actually using an application, it flows, that application, a copy of it flows from your secondary storage into your primary storage, your main memory. So a copy of this right now is in my main memory called RAM. My secondary storage has my hard drive, doesn't run the programs. A copy of it is put into the main memory. So this is my primary storage. It gets processed, inputs from my software, and then I have it stored. So for next week, what I want from each of the students is to find out on your computer how much primary storage you have, how much RAM you have. And if you don't know how to find it, what do, Greta? You look it up. If you have a Mac, how do I find out how much RAM I have? Secondary storage is how much do you have? And we'll go over it, Caitlin, next time on Monday. Questions? So I'm going to take attendance now. Stay with me if you have issues, any personal issues. Otherwise, Frank and Greta will look forward to seeing the tech daily, right, for next week. Everyone will then improve their assignment, put it together in one folder, and those that had issues will continue, and then that assignment will be graded after the class on Monday. Any questions? So let me share the attendance with you. Let me minimize this. I'll go to the attendance. We'll do check-in, start check-in. Let's see what comes out. 6422. Can you be so kind, Greta, and put that in the chat in case people miss it? That the
Yeah.
check-in number is 6422. And stay with me, especially Greta and Frank, just to kind of end this. And then once you put in the attendance, you can you're welcome to leave, and I'll deal with people that have, any issues. I'll stop the recording and we can have any issues that we have. So I'm going to stop sharing now. We have that in the chat. What is the number? And stay with me if you have questions. Okay. And otherwise, you're welcome to, we've stopped formally. Okay. So how can Catherine, can I help you?
Yeah, I couldn't get my YouTube recording to work. It says that I need to download Chrome, but I already have Chrome, so
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so document it
Okay.
and then try tomorrow and see what the issue is. Okay.
Yeah.
And you may even want to try it on another computer.
Okay.
Okay.
Does the
And then,
library have computers?
yes,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Thank
And
you.
see what
Mhm.
the issue is there. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But document it. Make sure that you document that, even if so, document the
Okay.
whole process and even make a recording of it, that this is what I had, this is how I put it in. And then
Mm-hmm.
for the second assignment, just have someone else in your group that's gotten that YouTube to work, but
Mm-hmm.
try it out, and you may want to even sit with your group, someone in your group that's gotten it, to reach out to
Mm-hmm.
them to see what they did differently than what you're doing.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Good. Great. Okay. So in this case, so Nicholas Bennett, what's up? Let me stop
Yeah,
recording.
my YouTube